Here we are. Welcome. It's a we're both sitting here looking at each other in a little bit of a panic today with technology. Oh my gosh. Many of you know me, I say texting is about all I can do. And Biotics gets frustrated with me with all of our systems we have. And now Zoom is throwing us for a loop today. So welcome everyone. I always appreciate your time. Today's Thursday, November 21st, 2024. This is Daniel's Downloads. Appreciate all the new names, all the new faces. This is part 2 of Foundational Nutrition equals Foundational Health. As always, statements made in this presentation are not meant to treat, cure, or diagnose a disease. And I'm going to do a little bit of, as I always do, a little bit of quick review because, man, I learn stuff every day from all of you out there, and I love to then share that. But always in the chat box, Jacqueline's running that. I do not see any of that today, so that'll be later. And always be aware that at the end of this presentation, I hold a raffle for a product. So look for that, pay attention, be a question at the end. The raffle today, by the way, is one of my new favorites. It's a product that we've had for a long time, and I'm going to talk about at the end today. So a lot of products we've had in our program at Biotics Research and our product list, but I really want to show you the targeted uses of these products. So it's a little bit different today. We're just going to kind of go through products and their foundational uses that you may not be aware of. The point of this is so you don't have to dig through the catalog of 300 different products and go, Daniel, I'm looking for this. I'm going to give you some ideas today that'll really help you with foundational nutrition, okay? Let's see how it all goes. Let's reduce some screens here. There we go. So really briefly, we talked about it last time. I just want to remind you because it's being released. I've been told next week now. I know you guys were the first to know about it a month ago. But we're doing the tableted Actimeg. So it's 200 milligrams and 3 tablets of the magnesium glycerophosphate, a totally unique form of magnesium with that glycerophosphate carrier. So with this glycerophosphate carrier, no bowel upset with therapeutic dosing. You see, we've had the powder forever. We're going to have the tablets. Yes, new labels coming your way for those of you that are new. 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium in the powder, 200 in the tablets. Here's the big story. Thrives in the human pH. I'm going to show you that slide. It enhances cellular uptake because you are getting a lot more absorbed than any other form of magnesium. There are other forms of magnesium that don't loosen the GI as much as well. But this is a big component right here. The power slide we showed you last time. Sometimes I do this because we need to hear it at least twice. At least I do. I learned that in some classes where you need to hear it, see it a few times to really sink in. Look at this. Here's the magnesium glycerophosphate line in red. This is the small intestine. All right. You don't want it to disassociate there. Because what happens then? The free magnesium grabs water or fat, loosens the stool, and there's your laxative effect. You see the bottom line? That's magnesium oxide. That works very fast. You want a laxative effect? Magnesium oxide. But the magnesium glycerophosphate is the most stable. Here's even magnesium glycinate. 37% difference in absorbability of magnesium glycerophosphate versus glycinate. So you get more magnesium systemically than the glycerophosphate. Magnesium, they disassociate. The magnesium gets uptaken intracellularly. And then with the glycerophosphate over here, this pathway, you're going to get these slides as a review, helps regenerate NAD. NAD is the big hot topic. I get it. Energy pathway. You are regenerating NAD with glycerophosphate. This pathway happens in the brain and in the muscle. So bang for the buck. This is what I always talk about. Because, patient compliance, see how many things will they take? How many things will you or I take? I look at the effectiveness of a product like this. So look at this for your repertoire. 57% of patients that take supplements are taking the magnesium. So in your practice, think of that. If you're a chiropractor and you're working on bodies and the muscles are tight, you're a massage therapist, whatever it may be, there is a need for a high quality magnesium. All right. Part 2 we're going to get a little bit deeper into some of the other multis. Remember I said Vitax Research has 12 different foundational multis. Last time we really focused on the sugar handling ones. We really got in depth on glucobalance, glucoresolve, and bioglycozyme. We really dove into glucoresolve. For those of you that are new, I want to really show the value here of your recommendations, because these patients trust you and they're going somewhere, to GNC, to Costco, to wherever, for a multi, because here's the number: 1.8 billion estimated sales increase in multivitamins alone from now to 2027. We talked about why. People learned that when they were micronutrient deficient, illness was easier. Here it is right here. I just pulled this up. That's why it's on the slideshow. Vitamins for chronic disease prevention in adults, clinical applications. This is from JAMA, quite a while ago, actually, 2002. I'm not the greatest Google researcher, but most people do not consume an optimal amount of all vitamins by diet alone. We know this. Interesting that this was confirmed that long ago. It appears prudent for all adults to take vitamin supplements. I mean, we know that. It's just nice to confirm from other outside sources and not just Daniel's downloads for say, I might be a little bit biased at some levels. But that's a big number. So specialized vitamins, we have targeted, as I talked about, multivitamins that maybe you looked at and you didn't even think of as a multivitamin. We sat down, we looked at the labels. We really wanted to address this to help you, because one size does not fit all. Patients taking for their multivitamin. Boy, when we think of multis, we often think of Centrum. I don't know why, but that's where a lot of people's brains go to. I know my brain has, and I tell you a story about Centrum, how I met a gentleman who told me he developed Centrum. It's a longer story than we have time for, but he looked right at me, okay? He asked what I did. I told him I'm in vitamin sales, nutraceutical sales. And he looked right at me and he goes, he did this. He goes, we put it under such high compression. The heat bananas the tablet. And as it cools down, it comes back. And he looks at me and goes, you'll never dissolve the whole tablet. Now, that alone scares me. And then we talk about therapeutic dose. A milligram of this and a milligram of that is not therapeutic dose. So we talk about, less is more for patient compliance. So that's part of the world of multivitamins. What will they spend? What are they willing to spend? And what are they buying and from who? We've talked about that. Where are they going besides you? So don't feel unethical about marketing these in your practice, because they're looking for these things. They trust your recommendations. Again, one size does not fit all. We have the wheel here. I have a lot of nice literature that I can get to you, and I will send out in the link after this presentation that shows you more about this. We have a patient brochure. We have a whole new brochure. So last time we talked about number 1, blood sugar. We're going to do a quick dive into the other 4: women's health, cardiovascular health, immune support, and maintenance multis. And maybe you weren't aware of some of these. So last time we covered the blood sugar, we said that earlier. But here's women's health. Equifem, maybe you've never heard of it, and prenatal packs. Cardiovascular health, we have Biocardiozyme Forte, a wonderful old school multivitamin at Vasculocert. And then immune support, Bioimmunozyme. I had it on my desk. That's what our family's taking now. I call that the fall seasonal multivitamin. So usually this household takes Pro Multi Plus year round, but this time of year we switch to Bioimmunozyme. You're going to get this chart as a reference chart. I think it's a great piece to refresh yourself on. You'll see the categories, you'll see the products listed, and then you'll see the dosing, recommended dosing of how many tablets. Do they come in a tablet or a capsule? Is it herbal? Is it, or botanicals? Is it glandular? These are all listed for you in this chart. So I'm going to create a separate sheet and a PDF for you that you can have to print, okay? So let's just refresh a little bit. I want to go back one step because I want to I think I pigeonholed this product a little bit. The Glucoresolve. So Glucoresolve is in the sugar handling category. And I kind of put it, and it's a wonderful, but I put it here in the GLP-1 multivitamin category. So people who are doing semaglutide, Ozempic, and things of that nature. I said this is the perfect multivitamin for these people, and it's the perfect multivitamin for those people when they're weaning off of it. But let's also look at this as the perfect multivitamin for general population who's not doing semaglutide, who has potential sugar handling issues, and is maybe on one of your weight management programs, however you tailor that. Because the nutrients in here increase AMPK. What is the AMPK? Adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase. Big words. No quiz on that today. But AMPK is recognized as a master regulator of metabolism. Boom. People ask me, what do you have, Daniel, to help with weight loss? And we don't do stimulants. I see a lot of that stuff in the market. We do not do stimulants, okay? But this is an AMPK activator, which is, again, the master regulator of metabolism. Look at this line right here. Calorie restriction and vigorous exercise and natural botanical extracts. Switch on. We turn on that AMPK, shrinking body fat stores, especially in the belly region, lowering blood sugar and lipids, and producing the beneficial effects that slow the aging process. Hello? I mean, why wouldn't that be a lot of your patients' multivitamin? What do we know that sells? Especially this time of year, boy, January, weight loss sells. You know, and I don't like to use the word sell, but that's what people are interested in. It's not a bad word. This is what patients are asking you about. And if they don't know about it, they're going to go elsewhere and do it. So this is a wonderful product. Here it is, Glucoresolve optimizes glucose and insulin homeostasis with targeted nutritional support. So this is a targeted multivitamin. Promotes healthy weight management, optimizes metabolism via the AMPK activators. So consider that one as a review. Now, this is what the slides are going to look like. We're going to cover all these different multis, and I want to give you a couple silver bullets here and there, okay? So bear with me as we give you the highlights of these products. Equifem, long-standing, wonderful female multi. One of my mentors went through a ton of this, and when he was out and forgot to order it, his clientele were not happy because this product really regulated, right here, addresses the most common symptoms of premenstrual dysphoric disorder, the mood swings, the bloating, the cramping. They were getting such great results that when he was out of the product, they were not happy customers. So it's applicable across the lifespan of teenage years, middle age, through menopause. Where prenatal packs, be aware of these because you look at the prescribed prenatal vitamin, I think is sorely pathetic. There it is. That's how I say it. Sorely pathetic. These are well thought out, pre-packaged vitamin packs. And consider it for those patients I talked to you about getting pregnant. Here's your new multi. I want you on this while you're trying to conceive. I want this on this during your pregnancy, and I want you on it while you're nursing, okay? You're going to get the labels. These are a little bit hard to read, but I wanted to show you as a reference of what the bottles look like. So when you're going through the catalog, here's Equifem. Here's the prenatal packs. This is a very balanced vitamin pack. I had actually talked to the vice president of Biotics about what constitutes a prenatal. And there are things that need to be met to call it a prenatal. You just can't throw something together and call it that without eventually being checked out and saying you can't call it that. We took a lot of time in putting this product together. Then we have cardiovascular health. Now, I think many of you are familiar with some of these at least. So we had BioCardioZyme. It's a tableted multivitamin. I look at this as a category of anybody who's had a family history of cardiovascular issues, as this is their multivitamin. Preventative. Presentation of cardiovascular risk factors, blood pressure concerns, lipid management, family history. So here you have a patient I see these laboratories come to me all the time with, high cholesterol. We can talk about what constituents high. It's another lecture. High LDLs, low HDLs. We look at oxidation factors. So you're putting them on something like our cardiolipid to help manage those lipids. But what other nutrients are you giving them to help support cardiovascular health? This is a nice foundational multivitamin for cardiac function. Then we switch over to VasculoCert. This was developed by Dr. Mark Houston out of Vanderbilt. Many of you may have heard him speak. I know I'll be in Vegas at A4M this December, and he'll be speaking up there. He does part of the cardiovascular module. This is more your intensive patient presenting with cardiovascular diagnosis, slows vascular aging. Here it is, improves elasticity. A dear mentor of mine who's now retired, he's an MD cardiologist in Albuquerque. He had a beautiful technology in his office, and he did pre and post Doppler testing using VasculoCert, and he changed vascular elasticity to the positive, which then what? We make the vascular elasticity softer, blood pressure goes down, the aging process is helped because we're not just hardening of the arteries. So it promotes vascular and heart health, specific for cardiovascular needs. I'll share with you, this is, if you look at the label, and I'm hoping one of these you find fits your niche. I'm not saying all of these need to fit your niche. Many of you do different little things, and one of these is going to go, oh, this is the one I was missing for the majority of my practice or a certain patient population that you have. But look at this for everybody asks about mitochondrial support. Check out this for mitochondrial support. This is a rock star product for that, okay? You want to talk about, you notice a product, like some multivitamins, let's be real, you've given them to a patient, like, yeah, okay, I know I'm working at my foundational nutritional level, but I'm not feeling like, a rock star. This will get people going. You'll notice an energy increase, okay? There's BioCardioZyme. What you'll see here, I have to look at this, I'm getting aged back and forth with my glasses. In the kind of other ingredients section of the label, you'll see the glandular components, neonatal heart tissue. Remember I've talked about glandulars and how if you put a radioactive isotope on, let's say, heart tissue, it shows up in the heart to support it as a food. This is what we're doing with this nutrients. Here's also adrenal complex in there. It's in there. Everybody asks about hawthorn. Yes, hawthorn is in there. It's a nice multivitamin. Then you get into VasculoCert. There's your resveratrol. There's your CoQ10, emulsified CoQ10. So your uptake is much greater than a dry form or even a gel form, by the way. You have your R-alpha lipoic acid, your whole litany of nutrients that support vascular elasticity and mitochondrial health. Here's the sole immune support product, Bioimmunozyme Forte. This product, when that particular virus showed up several years ago and kind of changed the global setting, this product, we sold out of a 4-month supply in 2 weeks, a global 4-month supply, because people know how effective this is for an immune support multivitamin. As I said, in this household, that's what we switched to, just opened a new jar today. It doesn't take a lot to have an impact, but this is the targeted patient. Your fall, well, look at it, they took my words right out of my mouth. Your fall multivitamin, seasonal immune challenges, immune boosting. What are the highlights? Proprietary blend of echinacea, cayenne, lymph tissue, organic 15. We're going to talk about this product sometime, but just think methyl donors, okay? A strong glandular component, because what's happening when we're not feeling well? The system is being depleted. We've talked about this as well. Once they start feeling better, you've depleted the system of those foundational nutrients. They need to stay on something like this for a while after to replete the system. We know you could only eat so many vegetables and fruits and not even find the level of nutrients that we truly need nowadays, sadly so. So look at this as your fall multivitamin. And I was at a meeting yesterday, and they're building packages to sell to their patients for seasonal components. And this is part of the component of their immune package. There's bioimmunozyme. So here you go. Look at all the glandular components: spleen, liver, pancreas, parotid, chymotrypsin, placenta. Why placenta? Somebody asked this question for me before, and I'm not sure I ever got the answer correctly back to him. If you look at placenta tissue, it is loaded with nutrients. Okay, and that's the nutshell of the story right there. Foundational nutrients. I keep saying that word, but here we are again. I just had a text earlier today about one of these fandangled nutrients I've talked about that's out here. That's the panacea. And yes, it's helpful for certain things, but it's very expensive. But yet we don't have foundational basics. And that's always been my story. And I'm going to stick to that story, that we need the foundational basics. Not maybe you or I get those foundational basics in because we're pretty adept at taking our vitamins every day, but your patient population is not. Then the maintenance multis. This is where I really get kind of excited too, because as I said, in this household, we use Pro Multi Plus, and I'm going to talk about that one quite a bit. But I want you to know about Aqueous Multi Plus. The reason it was put out there was it's for all ages, including children, but the elderly population who don't want to take pills, okay? It's a mild citrus flavor. Now, when we say that, it's a strong citrus flavor if you take it straight up. I think it is. And when we sample it out at trade shows, I like to dilute it with a little bit of water. Here's a great summer bullet, by the way. If you have patients doing band surgery of any kind or gastric bypass surgery, this is a wonderful product for them. These patients are not absorbing nutrients, and they're not breaking down well at all if they're taking pills. So a liquid is essential for those patients. Liquid form, easy to swallow. It is iron-free because of the elderly population. We wanted to have it there for. So consider that one. And maybe you didn't know about it. I know a lot of people that didn't. Oh, you make a liquid multi. Yes, we do. Because I've been encountering a lot of wonderful new pediatric naturopaths. Then we have Pro Multi Plus. This was developed by Dr. Alex Vazquez. Some of you may know his name. I've been texting with him the past several days. I consider him a friend and a mentor. He's written, if you know of him, huge manuals that many of the schools use for education. This was kind of his product. And to paraphrase, not word for word, but to be as accurate as I can, he developed this based on, he's a big literature guy, loves to look at the research. He developed this looking at micronutrient deficiencies in studies of human populations globally, and discovered that we are depleted, just kind of like I read here from JAMA, other studies here. Here's a multivitamin and mineral supplement reduced the incidence of participant-reported infections and related absenteeism, in a sample of participants with a high prevalence of subclinical micronutrient deficiencies. I know that was a lot, but it's another study I have here at my desk. Got a lot of papers on my desk today. So the story's out. Here, look at the NIH is now differentiating. The National Institute of Health is now differentiating what we're doing. They're differentiating multivitamins into specific targeted categories. So he developed Pro Multi Plus based on nutrient deficiencies. If you look at the label, and we will, it's loaded. So, and the options you have here is, okay, be real. It's recommended at 6 capsules a day for the full benefit, but you don't need to do all of that. You can do 3 capsules a day. So it's an active, high-performance lifestyle patient, high overall metabolic need, multiple nutrient deficiencies. I know there's some laboratories out there that run micronutrient deficiency tests. And I've seen these tests. It's like, oh my gosh, they need Pro Multi Plus. You know, formulated highlights, high potencies, activated forms of B vitamins. What does that mean? People that say, I want methylated forms, but also you want activated forms. Okay. The activated form that does not need to have the liver convert it to an activated form. All right. It's already activated, can be utilized by the body without having to do energy and liver conversion to make it activated. Our other multis in the maintenance category are BioMulti Plus. I think it's kind of one of the originals. When I was in the clinic days, this was our foundational multivitamin then. This is a wonderful tableted multi. And what this has is our SOD and catalase. Our tableting base is our food, the SOD catalase food-based formula that we have. So the average healthy person, high value product, low pill count per dose. Robust foundational formula, includes the plant-based trace minerals. Remember, we talked about those trace minerals, how we grow them into the plant. Free form, selenium, lithium. You don't have a carrier, totally unique. A food form of trace minerals, okay? Comes in 3 variations as well. We have iron and copper free. We have copper free. And then we have with iron and copper as well. Okay, so you have 3 different forms. With iron and copper, copper free, and iron and copper free. You'll have these slides as a reference as well. That's a nice multivitamin, especially in my opinion, if they're taking other supplements, okay? Because then you're not going to get too high in any category. Some of us look at that and worry about that. I don't. I was just saying this yesterday, and I know I'm being recorded, but I've made my disclaimer. I've never, ever seen a vitamin A toxicity in all my years, except with 1 patient. Now, that's not to say that it can't happen again. We have to watch our patients because we're a culture of 1 is great, 6 is better. And if we get results with, let's say, using vitamin A as a standalone, they're just going to keep drinking down vitamin A. We don't want that. But here is one of my new favorites is the Biotrophic Plus. And I hate to say that I kind of forgot about it. It's been around a while, developed by my mentor of 20 years. This was put into the line to directly compete with a whole food company's multivitamin as well. The difference in this one is their product has glandulars that have glands that are hormone releasing. Let's say just adrenal, just think adrenal, okay? Our product has glandulars, but they're non-hormone secreting glandulars. We do not have adrenal tissue like it in there, okay? So this is a multi you could take long-term without any concerns of, am I overstimulating adrenals and they don't need it? Where this one over here from the competitor has that in it, maybe something a child doesn't want to take long-term because their adrenals are fine. This is and by the way, the dogs in this house love it. It's a wonderful training treat for those of you, we will pay for pets. I know we do in this household. They eat better than most kids, and they live good. But individuals who prefer a whole food multi. So it's not going to be this high potency component, but it is a combination of B vitamins and the glandulars. Easy compliance. It's a small tablet, by the way. So whole food focused multivitamin, phytochemically bound trace minerals again, those free-form trace minerals. Look at this, vegetable culture, that's what it is. Rubidium, vanadium, the SOD, catalase, and lithium, all free-formed in this plant matrix as the tablet. Then we have the other nutrients in there. It's a totally unique process. Nobody is doing that but Biotics Research, okay? Non-hormone secreting, as I said, glandular component, exclusively contains activated B vitamins. So what's Pro Multi Plus look like? Look at your dosages here. Fairly high, 50 milligrams of B1, B2, 150 of niacin. It's a loaded multivitamin, okay? Even your molybdenum, 100 micrograms, chromium 200. And this is at 6 capsules a day. But here's, look at zinc, 20 milligrams, a therapeutic dose like we've talked about. 200 of magnesium, There's a lot in here. There's a lot in here. Here's your biomulti, a little bit different at 3 tablets a day. Lower potency across the board. And then here's the biotrophic. Again, the whole food multivitamin. Look at your proprietary blend of rubidium, vanadium. There's heart, kidney, liver, spleen, non-hormone secreting glands, okay? You can take this product long-term as your nutritional foundational support. Tiny tablets, this dosing is at 3 tablets a day. So here again is your list, your chart of your targeted foundational multivitamins. I hope I gave you some ideas today of what might fit your practice best. You know I'm working with a practice. They do a lot of weight loss. They brought in a bunch of glucoresol. They weren't doing anything really for a foundational multi. And when I showed them the numbers and what they could be missing, this is what it was. Women's practices, if you're in cardiovascular practice, and then you've heard about the bioimmunozyme support and the other maintenance multis. If you have any questions, please use me as a resource. Text me, call me, email me. I am happy to help you even make decisions off of this page of what will fit your practice best. Be aware, and again, you'll get this, there's a discount code. And it's just based on any mix or match of anything off that chart. So if you're using something already, order 6 bottles or more of any of those, you get 10%. 12 bottles, you're getting 15, and 24, you're getting 20% off. You know, Joe Bush's, who does the Tuesday Minute, which look for that one because he did a 7-minute version of what I just did, talked about a doctor who had patients using just bioimmunozyme and was moving 96 bottles every couple of weeks because he lived in a colder part of the country. And that was just his foundational program. He said, take 2 every day. And his patients followed suit. And his patients were well. This is accessible as well for your office, this marketing material with this wonderful trifold. Just reach out to me. All right, raffle quiz. Get to the chat box. For those of you that are new, I didn't want to show it right away because some of you are all so fast in the chat box. Jacqueline's taking notes, and guess what? I didn't give her the answer. So once I'll give her the answer. Is it? Yeah, I think you're right. Sorry. Here we go. First, fee. Boy, I can spell. I'm Mike Tyson. First fee. To answer in the chat box, win a bottle of Biotrophic Plus. There's supposed to be an R in there. Sorry about that. The first 3 to answer in the chat box, win a bottle of Biotrophic Plus. All right, ready for the question? Which multi is considered to be a whole foods multi? A, bioimmunozyme, B, Pro Multi Plus, or C, Biotrophic Plus? Should be pretty easy. Jacqueline's tallying it up. I always like to get the answers to prove I give names. She's asking me for the answer because she's running all the technology over there. She wasn't paying attention to my class. She goes, I think you did good today. But she's working on letting everybody in and making sure we're all muted. Do we have 3? All right, we got it. All right. So we have Arthur Powell, Ashley, and Lynn Firth. I will get you out a bottle of Biotrophic Plus. For those of you that have pets, wonderful multi, great training treat. Well, we have a lab, he'll eat anything, but that's not a fair assessment. But Ozzy, he's kind of finicky. Ozzy likes his, but he eats them too because of the glandular component. All right, everybody. You know, I wasn't going to do a class in December because I know we all get busy, but then a customer yesterday asked me about our protocol for digestive support. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we've got holiday gluttony time coming up. So we've talked about gut health, but I don't know if I've actually, and if I have, we'll refresh it. And I'm going to show you some really cool things on digestive support protocol. When is it truly a digestive issue versus gallbladder or versus further south? I'm going to show you some silver bullet things to look for just subjectively. Okay. And so top tips to navigate north to south GI issues. So that's going to be December 19th. That's a Thursday. I'm was running short on time. Yeah, December 19th. We're looking good. So I appreciate all your time. I appreciate you listening in. I hope I gave you a silver bullet today. Again, always reach out to me. Look for the email to link to this video. I'll send you that chart. There will be a link to sign up for this as well. Here's my information for those of you listening in. My cell phone is 602-690-9636. I'm going to stop the recording. And if there's anybody that has any questions, I'll stick around for you, okay? Can you stop the recording? I don't have access to it. See, it's technology. Okay.